Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's Artist Spotlight. It is the month of April now, and we have Tom and Maria Cesta with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having us.
Now, Tom and Maria have a different kind of talent or a performing art kind of a feel. Could you tell us about what you do and what you love to do together?
We are social ballroom dance instructors, and we have been teaching at the college at JCC through the continuing education program since really full-time since 2012. And prior to that, we helped out with the previous instructors, Doug and Bonnie Johnston, teaching the classes there. So we also are members of the Cosmopolitan Club, which is a ballroom dance community that has been around this area for about 60 years. And we also, as you know, run dances, social ballroom dance activities at Clayton Opera House once a month.
What made you get involved in doing all of this?
I just inquired about it and went and showed up at a class and told Tom we were going to be going, and we went to a ballroom dance class. And as soon as we got there, I think we were both hooked. And I honestly, I had no idea of his ability of dance. I didn't know what together we could do. And that's really the beauty of it all. It's just ended up being, I don't know, it's like a calling. Fell in love with it immediately, like the very first class. It was amazing.
We
just knew.
So the first time you danced together, you were already partners in your regular life, and you kind of came together in a class. Was it nerve-wracking? Did you feel silly? Were you shocked?
Well, I got to tell you, when we first started learning the waltz, which was the very first, was in the beginner class, and we did the waltz, I had to find a new dream, because that was my dream, to be able to do the waltz. I mean, that's usually most young women's dreams at the time, is to be able to dance a waltz, because Cinderella and all that. And I had to find a new dream after that. So was I shocked? No, I kind of knew that we could dance, but I was more, I guess I just didn't expect it to go where it led us. I had no idea that the first ballroom dance class would lead us into the rest of our lives teaching ballroom.
I think from a guy's perspective, most guys don't want to do that. Okay.
Right.
Your wife signs you up for ballroom. You're like, I don't want to do that. But at the end of the first class, I just said, why was I so stubborn? It was absolutely wonderful. And, if you keep in mind that everybody starts in the same spot, you all start in the beginning, right? Everybody starts somewhere, and nobody's watching you because nobody cares. They've got their own problems that they're dealing with. And I say that in class, you got your own problems. You take care of that. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. So it's a blessing to be able to do
Yes,
this.
it is.
It really is.
It's a gift, and a gift that we can't keep it unless we give it back. So we just we do a lot for the community and for other people that people probably aren't aware of, but we do it out of we don't want to lose what we have. And you keep giving and keep doing what you need to do to help others. And we want it to be affordable. We want it to be something we could pass on to the community and keep the legacy going of Doug Johnson and his wife.
It's great to see somebody come into class and start at the beginning and not know anything. By the time they're done, they're doing the waltz, or they're doing the foxtrot, they're doing the swing, and they get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
What made you love dance to begin with? Did you take it when you were growing up?
I did. I'm the only child, or the only girl of 7 children. I have 6 older brothers, so I was the youngest. And by that time, money was a little bit better for my mom. So at 7, she put me in ballroom, or not ballroom, but put me in ballet and gymnastics. And I just loved it. I had no idea that I had a gift of dance. I just know that I really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. And I know that my father and mother both danced as well. But so yes, it was a gift given to me by them.
But I would tell you that anybody should do it, because I think Maria would attest to this, that I don't think there's anything better that a woman likes than a guy that knows how to dance.
You said you're involved in JCC, you're involved in the Cosmopolitan Club. What are those, you talked about the 6-week courses, your instructors. What are those initiatives? What are those, could you tell us more about those and ways that we can get a hold of them maybe, or when we can expect to?
Well, look, the situation with JCC is obvious. They're going to follow, the whole COVID thing just shut everything down like it did at the Clayton Opera House. So that's fine. So everyone's hitting the reset button. I don't know what the college's intent is to do in the fall, but typically what would happen is that there would be 2 6-week classes. The first 6 week, and there's separate registrations and separate costs, but you'd have a 6-week beginner class and you get 6 weeks of 3 different styles. Right. So we would do like foxtrot, swing, and waltz foxtrot, swing, and cha-cha for the first 6 weeks. And then that class is over. And then we do one single style for the next 6 weeks. So we've taught cha-cha, waltz, bolero, West Coast swing, hustle, whatever, mambo, all different styles for
Tango.
6 weeks. So Maria mentioned, tango. Maria mentioned somebody learns this stuff and then they go out in public. It's a different environment for them, but they know how to do something. So they go to a wedding or they go to a band that's playing or something like that. So,
Right.
And that's what the college does. And they take care of all the registration, all that kind of stuff. So there's 2 6-week courses in the fall and then 2 6-week courses in the spring, which really is February. To see the evolution of some of these couples from the first week to the last week. It's enjoyable to watch that.
Yeah, one of my greatest joy, the greatest gift ballroom gives me is when I can look over at a couple that were struggling and they struggled with their move and then they get it. And then the way they lighten up, and me, I'm just like, when I'm watching, and they may not know I see it, but I'm like this, I'm like, I just so full of smiles. This has just brought so much joy into my life. Like Tom and I used to say, what did we do before ballroom? I mean, what were we doing? Because we have no idea now, but it's created this huge fellowship in Canada and over in Syracuse, everywhere. So we've been really fortunate with that. But by the way, too, when we host dances at the Clayton Opera House, the reason for that is really for the ballroom instructors or ballroom, the students, because they need a place to practice. They need to get outside of the venue of everybody face the clock. Well, there's not probably a clock in there. So they got to get out of that student era and get in there. And it is intimidating at first, but the lights are turned down and we'll help them out and help them get through if we see them struggling or whatever, if they have a question. But it's a way for them to get out and see what it's like to be a little bit in the nightlife of ballroom. We've just been really fortunate with great ballroom friends and people to help keep the legacy of Doug and Bonnie Johnston.
The people that came before us.
People that came before us, yes.
You said the Cosmopolitan Club meets at the Hilton Garden oftentimes, and you get dressed up. How often do you do that? What is that like? Is there a club that you can join?
The Cosmopolitan Club is a dance club, has 5 dances a year, typically September and October, and then January, February, March. And that is a club that has dues. I don't know what the dues are. We're not.
It's affordable.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're getting close, and so we wanted to kind of get this in people's heads and people's minds so that they're able to kind of start thinking about, especially going into the summertime. I mean, into the fall, you want to do something that's a little bit more active and doing things.
Well, here's a little tidbit for you. We don't really dance in the summertime. I mean, we don't teach in the summertime, but we do go to like Bonnie Castle. And if there's a band playing there, we'll dance. And so there's people that are members of the club that will go there. The people from Canada sometimes will come down for that. So
talking about the upcoming year, do you have anything is going to come into play? Do you have any plans? You said that things should be moving forward, hopefully.
So we don't have a timetable because other people have to make decisions.
But I wanted to know, is there any advice you would give to someone who may have wanted to dance their whole life, someone who has never danced before? Any advice to someone who is inspired, but also a little apprehensive?
Just do it. Just do it. In spite of yourself, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could be hard-headed like I was and poo-poo this and say, I'm not going to do that. or think this is a waste of time and I'm only doing it for my wife. And then you're going to turn around, you're going to find, oh my gosh, I'm having a lot of fun.
I'd rather talk to the gentleman. I really would, and just say to the men that it's not a big deal, and it is a big deal to get her there, but it's not a lot of your time. It is an hour and a half. That's it. One night a week.
We're going to do this for the rest of our lives. That's the bottom line.
Well, if I could have my dream, we would be owning a barn, and it would be a ballroom in the bottom of it, and we'd live in the loft. And that would be a great place for our community, and then we could just pass it on. But that's my dream, and someday we may be able to meet that dream. That's certainly a goal in our lives, to be able to teach, because if you have a ballroom, we can continue to teach all the way up till we can't walk anymore. So, you know, our ballroom instructors in Canada were in their 80s, and they've just recently retired.
But really, it's about what we did Saturday. We went down to just dance, just to dance, just to have fun. And that's what it's all about. Somebody takes class, if they don't have fun in that class,
I'd be surprised.
yeah, because all I do is goof off and, you know, bust people's chops and stuff like that. But they learn stuff and they have fun doing it, hopefully.
The cool thing about ballroom dancing is not just for 9-year-olds, it's not just for 15-year-olds, it's not for 20-year-olds, it's for everybody, you know. And so it was really cool, and it's such a pleasure to have you both here. And so many of the things that you do are so actively involved in the community, and they bring a light to other people. And it's just such a wonderful thing to witness, and exciting to see. And it's such a different and unique kind of a talent.
The number of people that have crossed our paths over the years is just incredible. And if we've had a positive impact on anybody's life, I'm grateful for that.
And I have learned that there's a part of your brain that never really gets exercised, and that brain is there's a ballroom dance brain, and there's a brain for dancing. And if you don't use it, that's why dancing can be hard at first. But it is something that you haven't used, and once you develop it, and once your feet get to your head, then it never loses it. So it wards off Alzheimer's, it wards off dementia. So it is a great thing for people to take, just for their own mind, especially when you get in 50s and 60 years old and you're searching your words and you don't know why you're searching. Ballroom can be, instead of, you know, you can do crossword puzzles, you can do Yahtzees and things to help your brain, but dance is definitely going to make your brain stronger and healthier.
I'm just so excited to have everybody see what you do.
That's great. Hey, thanks, Jack. Appreciate it. You have a great afternoon.
Hey, thanks, you as well. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.